Yeah.
And the schools are like the worst culprit. The school taxes are astronomical.
It's so tough, you know, and I'm all for education. I think that is the key to our future is education. But there has to be a way, and I keep on going back to the unfunded mandates. We had a roundtable probably 4 years ago with all of the various schools. It was held at Mahopac High School. All the schools from Westchester and Putnam was invited, and Senator Flanagan, who is the senator up there in charge of the education, state education.
All right.
He came down and he heard it loud and clear. The unfunded mandates need to stop.
Right.
And stop wasting money. You know, this stuff with the Common Core, get the teachers involved. Stop using our children as guinea pigs. Because you can't say, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, you know, let me go back.
Right.
You can't. Once they learn, you can't go back. You know, when they're young, that's when you need to get them. And with me, I'm thankful that I did not have Common Core when my children were going through, because I think it takes the element of the parent out of it. And I believe that any student that's going to be successful needs a pyramid. It needs the teacher, needs the student, and it needs the parent.
Right.
And if a parent cannot help a student or their child with their homework,
Especially math.
okay, it's a failure for disaster.
I'd just like to explain to you what the Common Core is, Steve.
Okay, well, thanks. What is it? Explain it to the audience.
The Common Core is a curriculum that is across the country now.
Yes.
And I guess it was about 2011 that everyone thought it would be a great idea to have this Common Core, they call it the Common Core, so that in case people move from one state to another, they are on the same page with what they're learning in 5th grade, let's say.
Right.
However, I was a teacher when this was instituted. They did not teach the teachers about the Common Core before it came in, and the teachers were teaching the kids with really not having any preparation to teach them topics that were so much harder than what we were doing in New York State before. Now, New York State, the standard of education in New York State is very high. And so for the Common Core to be so much higher than that, it's amazing that anyone's learning anything in some of these other states.
I know.
You know, really, because the math, I was teaching math to elementary school kids. It was so hard that the 5th grade teachers, I was a consultant. I was a math teacher, but I was a consultant to them. So I would sit in on their meetings.
Yes.
And we would have to figure out how to do the problems that we were giving these 5th graders.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
crazy.
that's unbelievable.
It is nuts.
It's just wrong.
And it
as
is.
you know,
And the parents can't do them.
The parents can't.
do not
can't.
understand.
I was doing long division, and it's like, no, Mom. I said, but it's the answer, hon. You know, no, it's wrong. And I'm just like, no, it's not. You know, but as you know, and everybody in the audience knows, that as well as adults, children, everyone learns differently. Some people learn verbally. Some people, I'm a hands-on learner. At the town board meetings, I have the chief of police, you know, to try and explain something to me, and says, Mike, can you do me a favor and just write it all out for me? You know, a little map. As soon as he does, I get it. You know, there's all different ways of learning, and with the Common Core, you can't. There's one way.
Right.
And it's just not fair. It's just not fair all around, to the parents, to the teachers.
The teachers,
again,
they wanted to evaluate the teachers based on the student scores on these state tests. They've eliminated that, thank God, because that's another crazy, crazy idea.
Yeah, my daughter's a special ed teacher, and you can't take a student who's in special education, and you can't take an honor student, give them the same test and say, you know what, I'm going to grade you on how you do. It's just wrong. It just adds anxiety to the children, which they do not need.
Right.
You know,
I could talk about education like for an hour, really,
I know.
because I feel that education, one of the problems in this country is our educational system, and we are trying to fit a round person in a square hole.
And
it does. Everybody learns differently. I saw that so dramatically in the school I taught. I taught in the Bronx.
Yes.
And
we saw it with our children. I mean,
with our
Justin
children.
was a different kind of learner. He was a very bright kid, but he didn't excel at school. He just wasn't. It wasn't his arena.
Right.
Because he would have.
It was fine. He was very brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He would have done better in a different type of environment, a learning environment.
Yeah.
And so that happens all the time. That's
It
not,
does.
You know,
It
it happens
does.
all the time. Sure, you have 5 kids.
I have 5, and every single one of them learn differently. Every single one of them, you know. And, you know, I tell everybody in life, just do the best you can and accept it. And if people don't like that, too bad.
Right.
You are who you are. As long as you gave 100% and are not afraid to ask questions,